Well, it's a beautiful day still. The weather's still cooperating, and I'm kind of in the mood to be on camera apparently. So let's talk tools. Trail tools, Jeep tools. Anything specific to the Jeep? Well, we'll see. But we're all gonna need tools. Stuff breaks, especially when you use them like we use them. So here we are. Let's talk tools. As we all know, space is limited in these bad boys, but you do what you can. You try and make everything fit as tight as possible. So, tools for me. Here we are. Well, let's get the recovery bag out of the way because we already talked about that. And let's see, what else do we have here? Well, here's a pry bar, or pardon me, a breaker bar. That's a big bad boy, and I've used it plenty of times. So, let's go into the tool bag, dig it out of here. As you can tell, my spare's obviously in the back of the car, and that's where I keep my tools, hiding inside the wheel well. So let's come and bring it out here where I can kind of open this up and show you what I have. There's that bag, and it weighs probably, I think I weighed it once, like 45 pounds. That stays back there. And then in here, I have this bag, which is also very useful. Look, twins. Anyway. So, what's in this bag? Let's find out. Right on top is typical stuff, right? Always got to have an adjustable wrench because adjustable wrenches come in very handy. Big old 1/2-inch ratchet. I have my wrench roll. And inside of that is a fairly reasonable selection of wrenches. Sorry about the sun, guys, but this is what it is. It's a beautiful day. I'm not going to complain about the sun too many times. Then also in here I have bags and bags. Keep these bags so that I can at least tell what I have, what I need. So I have 3 separate bags. One's marked for the 1/4-inch stuff and screwdrivers. One's marked for my 1/2-inch for stuff. And then, of course, my 3/8 drive stuff. And in here is pretty much all of what you would expect to find in a fairly typical ratchet set, you know. Pretty significant selection. Bought a pretty decent kit, spent the money, and so I have most every size that I generally would need. I'm trying to get away from me, rat bastard. And let's see, 1/4-inch stuff in here. My screwdrivers as well, and all kinds of tiny little sockets, and my ratchets are all in there as well. What else do I have in here? Tape measure. I always need a tape measure, no matter what. Another pair of pliers. Random, some gloves. You never have enough pairs of gloves when you're on the trail. Keep those fingers intact. Random clamp, hose clamp. And let's see, what else is in here? Oh, one of those double-sided sockets for, you know, your lug nuts. Sometimes they're bigger, sometimes they're smaller. Need them all. Another random clamp. What's in here? I don't even remember. Luckily, I've been blessed and not had too many trail repairs lately. Lately, I stress that word a lot, lately. Because it'll happen when you're not ready. If you don't have this gear with you, it's guaranteed. This is like having insurance, right? If you don't have insurance, what do you have? Scared. You're scared. That's just a bunch of more random sockets, all the different, like, Allen key sockets and star bit sockets. All of that stuff's in there. And that's a marker. It's amazing how useful a marker comes in at times. Oh, and another one of those double-headed sockets, because they're great. Let's see, what else is in here? Or what is in the other bag? Let's get that one out of the way. This one is something that may or may not be something you want to carry. Personally, I always make sure that I have these with me because ratchets are useful, but impacts are king. You have a good impact with you, both a big one and a small one. That's a good idea. I have all the little screwdriver bits and little attachments in here for the little impact can accept sockets and what have you. Let's see what else is in here. We have my charger, 110 charger for my impact batteries. I have an inverter in the Pig, so I can run that no problem. Let's see, some wire crimpers, because you never know when you're going to need to do some wire work. I always have to have some good ends with you. These particular ones are the crimp on, and then you hit them with a lighter and they solder shrink down. So it makes a nice watertight connection. Good idea in my opinion. And that wire that you found that was rubbing on the wood, rubbing on something metal and got abrasion, always got to have a little loom with you to keep that protected once you find out what you'd missed earlier. A couple more extensions to make the small impact run on the sockets. Another random hose clamp, because you know hose clamps are always useful. Tape measure, gotta have a tape measure. Tape measures are always good, and that's pretty much all that I have in there. So let's see what else. Let's move inside the car. All the stuff, of course, stays in the car. Since I do have onboard air, I have an air truck so that I can air up my tires after the trail day. And of course, along with that, I gotta get the air there. So I have my air line, and this right here is my air down tool, so that I can get to the trailhead and make my tires all nice and squishy and full of traction, because that's what we're there for, right? Let's see, next in line is tire kit. Gotta have a tire kit. Always a good idea. I don't have a tire kit, I think that's something's wrong. Get your tire kit, and you got your patch, your plugs, and your tools to install them. Some new valve stems and what have you are in here. This is the lube for putting in plugs. If you ever puncture the tire on the trail, you don't want to run a spare, you can just throw this in, plug the hole, air it back up, and off you go. Makes your life pretty good sometimes. They're not really tools, but they're very useful. Always have a bag of zip ties. You gotta keep things tied down. In this little pouch I have random bungee cords. Down inside of here some ratchet straps, all kinds of good stuff. Some Velcro straps. Everything, whatever I need to, if I need to tie it down, at least I'll have something to work with. Anything else in here that I would consider a tool? Oh, maybe not a tool, but definitely safety. That's something to always discuss. Fire extinguisher. Yep, and you always got to make sure it's still good. Speaking of safety, let's go back to the back. We have some safety gear. It's always a good idea. I have this little blowout kit here that gets to stay on here. Of course, it's got a nice knife attached to it. And then I have this safety kit, or this blowout kit. Pardon me while I try and open this one-handed, because you know that's never fun or easy to do on video. In here we have another marker, a tourniquet. Tourniquets can be very important. Some medical tape. I have some shears, some gloves, some big bandages. It's not necessarily a boo-boo kit, but there are a couple band-aids in there. But for the most part, this is for something real. Something happens, and you got to put yourself back together, or somebody else. Always good to have a good first aid kit. And lights are always amazing tools. I have that little one there on the back, and I have this one. This is a Harbor Freight special, and I swear this is one of the best lights ever made. It's a great little work light, super bright, flexible, magnetic. Comes in super handy. Lights are huge, because how often are we out wheeling in the beautiful middle of the day? Not so much. So tools, that's my iteration. That's what I have with me every day on the trail. Gotta keep yourself safe, keep yourself put together. This is Chris and the Pig signing off from another vid. Have a great day.